This is Norman Kissinger from Redeeming the Time Brothers Ministries, and it's good to be back with you again. I have been kind of off the ministry here for a few weeks. My wife has had surgery and some other health issues, so I've been kind of focusing my attention on that. And I just wanted to come on here and say I'd like to give a kind of a review of a movie that I saw. And part of the background of that is that I really enjoy history. I enjoy Civil War history in America. I enjoy World War II. I enjoy, pretty much any history. I'll read or listen to almost any history that's out there. And I just really enjoy history. And I enjoy church history. And I enjoy the history of learning about different of the saints of in the Christian church and their and what they've accomplished. So I have read some of Dietrich Bonhoeffer's works, a little bit of just some short articles and stuff. I read parts of I believe the Cost of Discipleship, but I have to say that. And I've heard some radio plays on him, and I've heard some, and I've seen some other acted movies. But Angel Studios has put out a very, very good movie on Dietrich Bonhoeffer. So if you don't get Angel Studios on any kind of an app, if you're on Roku or something, it would be something that you would really probably find to be very helpful and very good for your family because of all the good Christian content that's on there. And I thought they did an excellent job with the movie. And I thought it was well acted. I thought it was, as Christian movies have moved more towards being as good a quality as anything that Hollywood puts out as far as acting is concerned. Not that that's the end of the world, because a good message should be something we'd be willing to listen to regardless of how well how the projections are. But Angel Studios and different groups out there are doing an excellent job of making very good quality Christian movies, and this is another example of that. And I just wanted to say that I thought it was a very, very well acted, very good quality, and I thought it was very inspirational. And so, highly recommend it for Christians, for homeschoolers, for anybody that wants to, again, strengthen their faith and be encouraged by the faith of other people, and see that other people have hard choices to make in life, and deciding, what to do about those. And of course, Dietrich Bonhoeffer had what was a very good Christian apologist and kind of theologian in his own right, but his biggest, I think, contribution to the church was his wrestling with the idea of basically war or whether or not Christians should be pacifists, and whatever way you would fall in regards to that issue, he certainly is somebody who's had to take care of that and do that, and take care of that behavior. And so he was excellent at kind of dealing with that issue. Sorry, I just had a dog that decided to run up here and say hi to me. So he did a very good job of dealing with that issue. Obviously, he had to do it based on his very life, because he had to decide whether or not, he was going to be involved with physically, if you will, stopping Hitler, or whether or not he would just be passively waiting for, God to kind of work in whatever other way. So it was an excellent kind of, his life is an excellent survey of that issue, and how you would deal with that, or how you should deal with that. And again, it doesn't really matter which side you would fall on. He wrestles with that concept, and his life is a kind of a living example of wrestling with that concept in the church. At what point in time do do we sit down and say nothing when evil is going on around us, and when do we stand up, and when do we march or protest, or for that matter even bear arms if evil is out there happening. One other thing that I thought was excellent about the movie, and this is something I think I've talked about on the ministry here before, but it was very good that they did this, was that in the movie, Dietrich, because he was a German European pastor and of course from Germany, in the movie he both smoked and drank. Now, you would think that's a weird thing for me to say that I liked in the movie, but I have to say that I did. Alcoholism ran in my family, so I did not. I do abstain from alcohol and also from from smoking. But the reason that I liked that they portrayed him as he really was, with his life, even with things that he that maybe other churches or the American church or a church of a different age or a different way of thinking might take offense to. The reason I'm glad that they did that was twofold. Number one, and I think probably the biggest reason would be that I hate it, and I think it's so harmful for the church to not present itself and the world and present truth, the good, the bad, the ugly of things, and try to water things down, or either make people angels or make them demons. Different people are a product of their age, even people in the church, and the influences that are going on around their life. And I think it's just dangerous for the church, especially for the church. The world participates in all the time, in either demonizing or making angels out of anybody. So I'm glad that they were willing to portray him as he was, and things in his life that other people might vehemently disagree with, other Christians might vehemently disagree with. They went ahead and represented him again as the real kind of person that he was. And so I think that is very helpful to the church and very helpful for the message, for it to be as real as it could be. And we're not watering down the truth, and that's my main issue, that we have to be able to be brave enough to speak the truth, and even when that truth is uncomfortable to us, or even when it's uncomfortable about our own lives, and then number two, the other thing that I think is very good about this is not just that they were willing to be completely truthful, which I think is helpful to the cause of Christ, regardless of, again, what we think about these ideas here, but the other thing that was good about this is that God uses fallible people, and he uses people from all different kinds of backgrounds and walks, and with all kinds of issues going on in their life, that they're real people that God uses. And I remember reading a work by Gladys Aylord, and the missionary, when she was out, it went to be with, I believe it was Jeannie Lawson, who was a missionary and a great missionary lady, but her in China back before World War II, and they had conflicts at different times, because I guess Jeannie Lawson sometimes had kind of fits of temper where she could get easily upset, and that's just another example of that. And I could probably think of a bunch more kind of historically, but that these people are real people who had real lives. They had real problems, real shortcomings, real sins, real controversial things, maybe even about their lives, but they still were used greatly for the kingdom of God. Dietrich Bonhoeffer's name will become a little bit more known through this movie here, and maybe most people, except for maybe Christian pastors and more students of church history, might not know who he was. But Dietrich Bonhoeffer is still spoken today, and his works are still used today because of the fact that he was real with Christ and wrestled with these hard issues, and God used him regardless of different kind of circumstances in his life. So I really liked, I think, the reality of that and how that went on, that they were just, able to present things from an honest perspective, and very good movie. So I highly recommend this. It's good to be back with you. I intend to do some more posting here as we go along. God bless you all. Be sure to listen to Gene's messages and listen to his devotions. Thank you so much. God bless you. You just have a great new year.